22nd, January 22nd, 2025. It's a warm Wednesday today. It's like freezing outside, below freezing, yeah. And welcome to the meeting. I guess call to order.
Mr. Llewellyn is absent. Mrs. Gibson?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Mundy?
Here.
Mrs. Shockley?
Here.
All right, and then pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, we'll start off with a few introductions. It's kind of a quiet room in here, which is always a bummer to see. But to my left and to the camera's right, we have Jack Haig, our business manager. We got Becky Yearman, which is our director of human services. And we got Devin Berry, which is our human resources director. And then you guys want to say, we also have our wonderful student reps, if they want to say their own names. I kind of like keeping up the tradition.
My name is Haley Schuster, and I'm a junior.
I'm Krista Barnett, and I'm a senior.
And I think Danny will be here. I guess she's going to be a little late, so she'll be coming in here sooner than later. And then we got Miss Lori Gibson. She's a board member. We got our wonderful superintendent, Miss Andrea Townsend. I'm Nate, board member. And then we got our wonderful vice president here, Miss Leslie Miller. And then we got board member Shockley. And then way down at the end, we got Mr. Ryan Sloan. Good to see you. All right. It is recommended that the agenda for January, for this meeting, to be adopted as presented.
So moved.
I don't think there's any changes, right? All right. And then roll call, please.
Mrs. Gibson?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Mundy?
Yes.
Mrs. Shockley?
Yes.
All right. And then we have no comments relating to public agenda. Do we have a communication update?
Yes.
Yes, we have a video.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, I'm bummed that she's not here either. Man, it's a really quiet room today.
I could probably go find her disco.
Oh, there you go.
It's really in her office. Now, there might be a little issue with sound and supposed to be.
Oh, they don't sound good.
No luck on the sound.
I can roll through it, but there's no sound.
I mean, we can do that.
Do you want to skip it, or do you want to?
No, we can go through it. I know a little bit about, I haven't seen it yet. So, Dr. Dotterman received the Carl Day Volunteer Award for her work with the Autism Society of Dayton, which is phenomenal. Super proud of her for this, and she is just so wonderful for our kids. So the work she's doing with that society is special and also relates to her own children. So that's nice.
Wow.
And it is slow down school zone. It's all a surprise for me right now, sorry. And before this, it is board appreciation. We did make a video for you, and if we can get it to play, we will play it for you. Maybe it'll be here, I don't know. But, oh, look at that face.
Do you know? Do we know?
I don't know, but like I said, it's all a surprise right now, but usually she shares it.
No.
I guess we don't.
It's not playing. So our video was for board appreciation and everybody around the district. It's a big thank you from everybody for all that you do.
Oh, this is
So it's a very cute video.
Postpone till next time.
Postpone.
We'll table it, yes.
And maybe we can get it to play sometime during the meeting. But yeah, it's staff and kids and everybody's just saying thank you. So
That is so sweet.
yeah. We
Very
appreciate
nice.
everything you do.
Yeah, I see that.
No, you're, well, we'll keep moving along. There is no presentations, right?
No,
And then, is there any school board recognition that you?
well, that was our
Yeah, that's a video.
That was it.
Oh, I see.
And we
Messed
all of us got together and purchased you some nice cupcakes. and
Yeah.
some
Very nice.
chairs.
Very nice, thank you.
The
You're
cupcakes are-
Thank you so much.
I'm really excited about these, that's for sure.
Buntini.
Cupcakes are very nice too, I have
Yeah.
to say.
I mean, chairs
The
are great.
seats are even better,
Yeah.
I love the seats.
So, just, that's from all of us at Central, so thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we thank you. That's
very
amazing.
much.
Well, I think we're gonna be jumping right into our, to our business portion of the meeting. So we'll go with, number 10, talking about our proposed policies.
Okay, this is the second read for our policies. It should go quickly. There are a few changes from last time. Our EDGAR policies are our financial policies, and they just incorporate new law requirements, it's administrative priorities. They are reducing agency and recipient burdens. They're clarifying different agencies, and they rewrote some language. We also have a special policy update, which is policy 2265, and it's changes from House Bill 214, and that prohibits soliciting or requiring an employer applicant for employment or academic admission for special benefits or for affiliation. So it's just about making sure that we keep ourselves separate from that. Our bylaws are all definitions. So bylaw 0100, we updated personal communication devices, and I did get X changed from Twitter.
I saw that, thank you.
You're welcome. Also the oath, it's to be impartially performed, and the pronouns were removed. The bylaw 0151, again, it's the bylaws revised to consolidate and align provisions addressing actions taken at organizational meetings, and to cross-reference bylaws. Bylaw 0152, it was materials moved from bylaw 0173, which just talks about board officers. Bylaw 0155, it's a technical correction and it cross-references bylaw 0167.2. Bylaw 0163, it's a technical correction from bylaw 0152. Bylaw 0164 is the notice of meetings, and it just has been updated to reflect our current practices. Bylaw 0165, we're rescinding 0165.1 and 0165.2, going into the new bylaw of 0165, which is just consolidating two existing bylaws. Bylaw 0166, agendas, it contains information, just renumbering executive sessions that are already on our agendas. Bylaw 0167.2, again, it's just a renumbering. Bylaw 0167.7, personal communication devices, is changing the definition to district technology resources, and it was also renumbered. Bylaw 0173, we rescinded it, and then we get into the policies. So policy 412008, it's been revised to ensure personnel know to enroll in the state RAPEX system, which we already do that. Hi, Danny. Policy 4121, a criminal history check, is also revised. Same thing, just making sure people are getting their background checks. Policy 5131, student transfers, this relates to House Bill 147, allowing students to be eligible for sports if they are victims of abuse. Policy 5136, personal communication devices, it relates to House Bill 250, and it provides that districts must adopt and implement a policy that governs students' use of cell phones by July 1st of 2025. We already have one. Policy 513601, electronic equipment, has been revised. This goes with Senate Bill 29, letting parents know who our third-party vendors are on our school board page, which we will have a third party doing that, and also notifying parents that information can be monitored, but we no longer have to send notices out, which is what the concern was for staff, every time we access the student record. Policy 5200 is also related to House Bill 214. Students are allowed to have 3 expression or religious expression days. Parents must notify me 14 days prior to the start of school. Policy 5500, student conduct. It's related to AI and academic integrity, and just making sure that we address that with students, and that will be an ever-changing policy. Policy 5780, student and parent rights, also related to Senate Bill 29. That's the parent or the technology contact list, which will be located on our technology page. Policy 6220, budget prep. Neola now allows our treasurer to either have a short version of cash balance or a longer version, a detailed version. Policy 6320 increases our bidding threshold to $75,000 for 2024. Policy 6460, vendor relations, also relates to Senate Bill 29. It has our third-party student technology. They have to follow FERPA. Policy 753001, board-owned technology resources used for communication. It just updates the definition that was in bylaw 0100. The same with policy 753002, again updating the definition in bylaw 0100. Policy 754003, student technology acceptable use. That relates to the AI and students having to use academic integrity, and also updates definitions. Policy 754004, student technology acceptable use and safety, updating the definition, and also referring to AI again. Policy 754009, AI, that's a new policy, and it will have the district address the use of AI with staff and students, and we expect this policy to change all the time as well. Policy 8310 is a public records policy, and it relates to educational support service data, and it's not included in public records as defined by 331932. And then public attendance at school events. This reflects changes adopted by House Bill 147, making sure student tickets do not cost more than adult tickets. And then finally, policy 2460, it was a review during our first read of the model policy of special education for us using Ohio's policies, which we're still using, and they're posted on our website. However, we now have to have a little blurb we have to read and upload to the state. So that's the only thing that's changed with that, and that'll be at the end of the meeting. Is that good? We're done. Okay. I told you it's much faster.
Yeah, did everyone get all that?
They're all pretty small changes. I mean,
Through and through,
Yeah.
right. We'll be voting on it later, but does anyone have any questions? I don't have any questions. So.
no.
Okay.
No, I don't have any questions.
And no questions?
No.
All right.
Here.
Moving right
Take it
along.
home and highlight and study and bring it back.
Oh, there you go. A little homework. We're gonna be moving on to item number 11, and this would be for financial items.
Thank you. Ask that the board approve items 11A and 11B as presented.
All right, motion and second, please.
Motion. Second.
Okay, anything you want to add?
These are the financial reports for July 24 through December of 24, so we're halfway through our fiscal year, and things are in good shape compared to the estimate in terms of how we will end June 30th, 2025. So nothing out of the ordinary.
It's great to hear. All right, we'll move on to a vote then.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Mundy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shockley,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson.
Yes.
All right, moving right along to personnel items. I think that'd be
Good evening.
good evening.
Superintendent recommends that the board approve the listed personnel items 12A through 12J.
Okay, motion and second, please.
Motion. Second.
All right, any discussion? Anything to add, Debbie?
One, a little bit, I mean, not a discussion really, but just draw your attention briefly to item 12B. There are two of our longtime teachers that decided to retire this year. And if you have noticed, there's been an increase this year, and earlier noticed as we approach February 1st. We incentivize teachers to tell us early so that we can prepare. So that is what the increase. The other part of the increase would be we moved, STRS moved from 34 years to 33. So
Went down here?
went down a year.
Really?
So because the change occurred during this year, we will honor for the incentive 34 and 33 to retire at the first available time. And I will say this is probably my 10th year. This is probably the largest group that is retiring in Readiness Memorial.
Wow.
So congratulations to Donna Phillips and Victoria Coverly. Both have spent their entire careers here. Of course, Donna's children went here as well.
Yes.
And she started her career a little bit later. I was privileged to work with her at Nicholas. And Victoria Coverly works right next door. So they're retiring. They've earned it.
I have a question. How many
Sure.
retirees are we up to? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I believe some haven't made the decision yet, but the last count, right about 11 or 12.
Okay.
Wow. Well, that's nice that they're telling us a little earlier. I mean, it kind of gives us a little bit of a head start, you know, which is really nice. Anything else? All right, we're up for a vote.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Mundy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shockley,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson.
Yes.
All right, moving on to number 13, more personnel items. Debbie?
The superintendent recommends that the board approve the listed personnel items 13A through 13B.
All right, motion and second.
Motion. Second.
All right, anything? Not as much to vote on this time, huh?
No, nothing to add.
All right, move to vote.
Mr. Mundy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shockley,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller.
Abstain.
Okay, moving along, we got a service agreement with I Am Boundless. Becky?
Good evening. The superintendent recommends that the board approve as presented the service agreement with I Am Boundless with respect to the education program for a student for the period beginning January 7th, 2025 through May 29th, 2025.
All right,
Motion. Second.
anything to add?
No, this was just a revised agreement that we had already approved in
Right.
December, and students finally getting started.
Good. All right, Brian?
Mrs. Shockley,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Mundy.
Yes. All right. This one is about the CTC board. Would you like to talk about that?
Sure, let me go ahead and read it first. I need a motion and a second that the board rescind the January 8th, 2025 resolution 2025-9, the appointment of Lori Gibson to the Miami Valley CTC School Board. Autumn Harvey will continue to serve her appointed term from September 16th, 2023 through December 31st, 2025.
All right. Motion and second.
Motion. Second.
Okay, so, Miss Harvey was on our school board, and then she continued in this role as a community member. She was going to, we thought, resign, and then she did not. So we went ahead moving forward and appointed Ms. Gibson, and then we found out that that wasn't the case as of the last board meeting. So, but it could change.
But it could change again.
It could change, yeah.
It's
So,
a little bit back and forth
yeah.
thing.
This is all new, the CTC thing is new for all this, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
that's where we're at.
All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Gibson,
Abstain since it's me.
That's actually a good question.
I can say abstain.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Mundy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shockley.
Yes.
All right. Number 16 is about the policies that we were just talking about.
Yes, so I need a motion and a second that the board adopts as presented the proposed policies of the West Carrollton Board of Education. I can go through and read all of the numbers if
So
you
moved.
like.
So moved.
Everyone got all the
Second.
numbers? All right, there's probably no more discussion on that, so we'll move right to the vote.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Mundy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shockley,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson.
Yes.
All right. Our last little item of the day here is item number 17.
Yes, and this does relate to the special ed model policy. So with the adoption of us continuing to use the model policy, we now need to upload a resolution. So I need a motion in a second that the board adopt the following resolution, and I can read it if you like.
Motion. So.
Second.
All right. Is there any more discussion?
No, I mean, we've been using the model policy forever, so this is, obviously somebody wasn't, so now they're making it official that we have to upload, that we have reviewed this with you, and then Ryan's notes and a signature sheet will go up into OJU's website yearly.
Easy enough. All right. Right?
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Mundy,
Yes.
Mrs. Shockley,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson.
Yes.
All right. Moving right along to the reports. Do you guys have any reports?
Oh, no, my snow day was awesome though.
You love it.
Yeah, I enjoyed my snow days, and last Friday on QPT Day, a friend and I went in and we worked on the caring closet a little bit, just organizing a lot of the donations that we have, and that's pretty much it. That's all I got.
I don't really have anything to say. So, yeah, it was a happy snow day, you guys.
Well, say your name, because we missed that when you were in.
Okay, sorry, I'm sorry for being late, but my name is Daniela Rodriguez Vasquez, and I'm a freshman.
I can report that. The student rep, the roundtable, and Daniela was there. I saw you, yes, you were there. And we're going to have, our next meeting is going to be February 15th. So we're still discussing a few items. It was pretty much, our Zoom meetings seem to be much better attended than our in person. Even though there were a few that couldn't make it this last meeting, we still had 10 people there. So we'll reconvene on February 15th, so you guys can write that down. 10 o'clock Zoom, we're Zooming again. So, and we will move on from there. That's all I have.
And thank you. Does anyone have any committee reports? I have some small, and it's actually small. Does anyone have any reports? No?
Well, we had athletic board control.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. We are done with the track, correct? No, the turf field. We are done with the turf field. Track will be next spring, after the track and field is over, then we'll rip it up and do it, so. But the turf field looks wonderful, even though it's now snow covered and you really can't see it anymore, but it looks beautiful. They put in the logo in the middle and everything, it's very nice.
Good.
So, We didn't have a whole lot at the athletic board.
Just the chair.
Yes. And we're going to bid for the baseball and tennis courts. Yes, I'm so
That'll be
excited.
Oh, really?
That's great.
So excited, so excited. So,
Wow. Lori,
That's
did you want to mention anything about this? Were you there for the whole CTC?
Yes, I was.
Is there anything that you would,
No, thank you.
no? Okay. Okay. I know they're working on a few things, but I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
exactly what they were.
Yes, sir, they are.
All right, well, easy enough. I have just a small thing about the legislative liaison. I know they passed a lot of bills in lame duck, and because of that, one of them was the Parents' Bill of Rights, which also passed. And then, of course, since like 2 days ago, we also have a new president, which will bring probably plenty of changes to education with the Congress and everything else as well. So it'll be a lot to be expecting, I'm sure, here sooner than later. So I guess with that, do you have any comments? Yeah.
I do, actually. I'll start with the one that relates to the new president. So yesterday, the president signed an executive order related to immigration, which has removed schools as a safe haven. So this is going to be very interesting. So it used to say that ICE could not do arresting or anything near a school or a church, and that verbiage has been taken out. However, we just got an update, which I have not had a chance to read yet from the ESC. With that being said, they could come into the school and not take our children. I would not allow that. However, they can ask for directory information, which is public information. I don't think I have to worry about my kiddos, but I am concerned about giving information out like that. And it has to be signed by a judge. It can't just be signed by anybody. I mean, there's a whole lot of rules that we have that go with it. We're just getting that information and we're still learning about it. So I don't like that there's information out there. There is misinformation floating around with teachers from New York, and I will get the correct information out to the staff once we have it all dissected. So that's the most important thing. Also, just remind parents, dress your kids appropriately for the wind chill. Just because your superintendent doesn't like to wear a coat, your kids should. So, Business Advisory Council dinner is next month. I'm very excited about it. We sent our information in today, and I'd like to congratulate Ms. Phillips and Ms. Coberly on their retirement. And that's all I have.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Ryan, do you have anything?
Just real quick regarding the School Board Recognition Month, just wanted to say a big thank you to all the board members and appreciate everything that you do for the district, for myself, for my staff, and for all the other administrators. So just thank you all for the thankless job that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, appreciate it. We have no comments from our association, so we're going to be moving right along. Central office staff. Does Jack any something? Yeah, Jack, if you want to start.
I'll just say that I want to thank our maintenance staff for all the hard work they've been doing. This has been a trying winter between snow removal and trying to keep heat running in all the buildings. Today might have been a QPT day or an off day for a calamity day for most people, but we had both bus mechanics and all the maintenance staff in working in all the buildings to make sure things are all up and going and ready to go. And we're looking forward to getting everybody back in school again tomorrow to move forward. And thank you guys for giving of your time for the community. We appreciate that.
Yeah. I have a question. The shook, how is that affecting shook, all the snow and the cold?
The snow's not as bad. The cold is. Masons have not been working this week yet, but they will be in Hopefully tomorrow the masons can start working again. They've got shelters built around the areas they're working to help hold heat.
Oh, nice.
But when it's as cold as it was yesterday and today, they can't provide enough heat to make it so they could mix mortar and lay block. But they'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully by tomorrow afternoon and again on Friday afternoon, we'll have roofers back on site, and they'll continue roofing the building. So we're moving forward with it. So most of the work, what they've done is they set it up on nice days. They work outside as much as possible. The past couple of days they've been inside. Even the roofers have been doing a little bit inside because they could do some sealing up and some caulking and some stuff like that. So we just kind of use them where we can. The masons, they use the cold days, instead of putting outside walls up, they're inside building partitions for restrooms or building block walls that cut off classrooms to separate classrooms out, classroom walls and stuff like that. So there's other work that they hold back on for days like that.
Interesting. Well, it's nice to hear how resilient they are. That's amazing.
Yeah, everybody wants a paycheck.
Yeah,
So
that's
everyone's gotta do the
true.
work.
That's true. Becky?
Sure, I just want to congratulate again Vicki Coberly and Donna Phillips on their retirement. They're going to be greatly missed from our special education department. And also happy Board Appreciation Month, week. We appreciate you. We're sure you give a lot of your time. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you. David?
Yes, I'll echo those same sentiments. I appreciate working with the board and honestly, not being drama-filled and staying out of the news. I think you represent our district well, so thank you. And I wanted to add Jack to the maintenance. I do think the maintenance is done, the maintenance crew has done an excellent job clearing the, what the heck was it called? Thank you. Parking lots, as well as the sidewalks. I was combining the two. But I definitely wanted to commend Jack for coming in and spending his time working with the crew. I think that's oftentimes the best leadership is being a role model. I think he does that really well, so good job.
I just like to drive the tractor.
That's really cool. I don't think we have any general comments from the public, so we'll be moving right along to board members. I'm not start with you, Diane.
Okay. I also want to thank Jack and his crew. I know that's a thankless job, as a lot of times they're in before everybody and here later than everybody, sometimes making sure it's safe for everyone. So it is very appreciated. And I also want to congratulate Mrs. Coberly and Mrs. Phillips for their time here in West Carrollton. And I want to thank the staff for the the board appreciation items. Thank you.
All right, Laura?
Thank you all for the gifts. I don't think you all got to see, because we took them down because you couldn't see us with them. But we also got these, and this was sitting here, so we could have all sat like this tonight, which probably would have added a little bit more flair to it, but anyways. And our wonderful bundt cakes, thank you guys so much for that. We really, truly appreciate that. It's cold outside and no one really wants to be here. So with that, thank you all.
See, that's gonna be a hard one to follow up on.
Oh, I can fast. Well, I'll just echo what everybody else. I want to wish congratulations to Mrs. Phillips and Mrs. Coberly. Mrs. Phillips and I have known each other for a long period of time. We had a number of children that were of the same age, and I wish her well. I know she's got a number of grandchildren that she's going to have fun with, and so it's exciting to see her go off into the next part of her life. Thanks everyone for the seat and the fun cake. I do appreciate everything that you guys all do for us, and I know that the one that's not here is your secretary, which Jenny does so much for us, keeping us all up to date and doing everything for us. So I really appreciate everything that you guys. The spring sports are coming around, so if you haven't got your final forms done yet, you need to do that. You need to get your physical if you haven't already. And we've got a number of sports coming up this spring, and hopefully spring will be kinder than winter, and much kinder than it was last year, which it rained practically the entire time. So kudos to the maintenance crew, and I'm sure they are praying for no more snow ever again, or ice or anything else that goes with it. So hopefully we can warm this place up to a nice balmy 32, and we can go forth. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I don't have too much to say. I do want to, I like that I say that every single time. I have a lot of things to say, you know. I do really want to thank, especially, this board is, everyone here is just so passionate. And it's nice to have a passionate board that wants to do so many amazing things for this community. And of course, I thank the community for, allowing us to be able to serve you. If it wasn't for the community, this board appreciation thing wouldn't have mattered, So of course, I thank you guys. I thank the staff for being a part of what we do here, and to be the face of what this really is, because no one honestly really cares about what we do. It's about what actually goes on, and I really do appreciate you guys for all that. Of course, you guys have been so kind. I wanted to thank you guys for the warm wishes when I was sick. I don't like being sick, and it sucks, and I'm still dealing with it. But that was really, really nice for you guys to kind of be thinking of me. So I really do appreciate that. That was really sweet. I'm definitely excited for the great things that we're going to continue to do, like improving student voice and achievement, our focus on education, safety, and in our partnership with our stakeholders, especially our community. It's just something to always look forward to, especially how nervous I am here. It's just nice to actually be a part of something. It's tough being president. This is everything's so quiet, and you have to be so official. So it's
You're
weird.
work in progress.
Oh, there we go. I'll take what I can get, But it is. It's weird being so official all the time. And, it's nice to actually be out in the community because, you can actually talk with them and hear what people have to say and not, kind of sit here and vote on things. So I'm just so grateful for everybody, and especially what everyone does. It's a really amazing community. And I'll end it, of course, with my little quotes. And this one, because the president stuff going on, I have a presidential quote by my favorite president, well, my second favorite, Teddy Roosevelt, and it is, do what you can with what you got where you are. Absolutely love that. I think with that,
Motion.
yeah, motion and second for.
Motion.
Second.
You guys are so excited to go. It's cold out there.
Cold.
All right.
Mrs. Gibson?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Money?
Yes.
Mrs. Chocolate?
Yes.
All right. That's it.